Hi boys and girls, I'm Mrs. Green and I'm going to show you today how to make some really fun and simple Christmas ornaments that you can hang on your tree or give away as gifts for the holidays. So if you want to look down here, I've got some air dried clay. This is real clay, but it doesn't need to be put in an oven or fired in any way, and it makes it really nice for quick and easy gifts. I've got some simple cookie cutters here, which are your teacher can find for you. You can also get them on Amazon, so I got mine. And I'm just going to press them into the clay. You want to make sure you don't roll the clay out too thin. You want to make sure that it's going to have at least have a little bit of weight to it. It will dry and it will get lighter, so you want to make sure this won't fall apart. So you lift them off of here, and you also want to make sure you have something like parchment paper. This is used for baking, but it's got something called silicone on it, which keeps things from sticking. So it's really important that you not roll your clay onto anything that's got a plastic like this, or and it has to top to it, because the clay will stick. So I've put my parchment paper down. And then it's still right here in my cookie cutter, and I want to figure out where I'm going to put my hole to hang it. So I'm going to put it right here. If you hope you can see it, I'm going to take my just a pencil, and I'm going to poke it through. Whoops, it came out. That's fine. And I'm going to keep going and turning. You see how I'm turning the pencil? So it makes a nice clean hole. And then you want to flip it over, take it out of the cookie cutter, flip it over, and you want to gently lay it down. And you want to try to smooth out or take off any of that extra, any of the extra clay that was pushed out. You want to try to make that as smooth as you can. Be careful. I'm already seeing a little break right here at the top, so I'm going to be real careful. This is just a simple cupcake spatula that people use for frosting cupcakes, and I find it works. It's a really nice little tool, and it works really well. So there you go. Now, let's flip it back over. There's that one. And of course the same for my circle, which I'll do another time. So you have lots of choices as to what you can do with the clay. And see, I have extra, so I can even probably roll out another 2 ornaments or so, depending on the size. So I've got my shape here. I'm looking at it from this way. And if you look here, I did the same shape earlier, and I used a stamp. I use stamps, and I just dip them into ink, which is perfect. You don't have to paint it. Make it easy. This one is hand painted, which is another option you can do. And this one is a stencil with ink, and that's another option I can do. And I will show you, I'll show you what I can do with this one in a little bit. So I have lots of fun, cool stamps here. The one I want to use for this are they're made from clay actually, and I use them in my own when I do ceramics, and they're just little fun little trees. So I thought I would use those today, and I also thought I'd write some words on. Here's Merry Christmas, or Happy Holidays, Making Spirits Bright. There's lots of fun ones here, and these are fun ones your teacher can pick up at Michael's if she wants to use it. So let's do Making Spirits Bright, and I'm going to need to get it into clay. I can also do this with paint, but I have to be really careful with paint. You have to use a brush and brush it on gently. You don't want to get too much paint, or it doesn't come out quite right. So I'm going to go ahead and use, I guess I'm going to go with the pink. I have pink here. So I'm going to go with the pink. And you don't need to dip it, you don't really need to get this super inked up. It will work for you, and it may not look like a lot of ink on here now, but it will work for you. So if you see it here, I just got enough, and I want to make sure there's no ink in between the letters. I'm going to turn this over so it's right side up, and then I'm just going to press it somewhere in the center, like this. And I want to press gently. I don't want to press too much, because I don't want to change the shape of my ornament. And then, you see, it says, Making Spirits Bright. And then I have these cute little Christmas trees, and I'm going to just take some green here. Hopefully I don't get it all over. This is tricky, isn't it? I'll try. Hopefully I won't get too much yellow on here. So I'm going to do a little bit here and a little bit there. And I'm going to put a tree on here. And lift it off. Oh, that turned out really cool. So I have a little tree on there. And that's probably all I can get. I might even have room for a snowflake. So let's do a snowflake. I'll put the snowflake into some blue. Just press it a little bit. And you might get ink on your fingers if you have stamps like this, but that's all right. And there I have a little ornament. And so this would go off and dry. This will be dry usually in a day. And then once it's dry, you'll have your teacher put some shellac on it for you. or something, a shiny spray that'll keep it preserved forever, and then you can hang these on your tree, put a nice ribbon in it. So there's that one. Let me show you one more technique that I'm going to do, and I'm going to do, how do I get a really fun stencil? And again, you'll have to use the pink because it's my biggest thing, and here's mine. So I'm going to do the same thing I did before. Before I get started, I need to make sure I got that hole. Oops, fell right out. I got that hole in it, so I'm holding it in between my fingers, and then I'm going to gently push the pencil through. Notice it's going between my fingers. I do not want to stick my pencil in my finger, and then flip it over. So you do have to be kind of careful and watch what you're doing. And again, smoothing out the back as best you can. Some of this clay might even just rub right off, and then others you may have to just kind of flatten it. All right, and once I have that, then I can do something like this, and these are some stamps that I have that are they're bigger, so I get some space. You can also use things like lace, buttons, whatever you can find around your house. Even the lids to things like glue and stuff have some really interesting shapes on them that you could use. So I'm going to use the pink because it's my biggest one, and I'm going to figure out where I want it to go. I think I want it to go just across the top possibly, so I want to go, I have to decide, should we go this way? Possibly this way. Okay. So I'm going to lay my stamp into the ink, and notice I'm not putting it all over the entire stamp. I don't need to do that. So you have to, if you can keep yourself from, keep it as clean as possible, that's the best way to go. So you don't want to end up with ink everywhere. And so I've got it pretty well inked up, and then I'm going to put it just over the top and press down. I don't even know if I'm going to go all the way down, probably not. And so I'm just going to press a little bit, lift it. Oh, that's cool. And then I have a really cool design. So I can leave it like that if I want to. I can add words to it if I want to. It's up to me. But I like it just the way it is, so I think I'm just going to leave it and let it dry. And it's just a real simple, easy ornament. When they're dry, you want to get yourself a Sharpie marker, and on the back, just put your initials. You don't want to write your name huge. The idea is it's not about your name, it's about the project. So we just want to put your name on the back so we know who to give it back to, and then you can wrap these up. We would have plenty of clay. You can make 3 or 4 different ones. All right? And that's it for ornaments. I'll see you next time. Bye.